Hey everyone, I am back and I'm super excited to share with you my latest stencil release. I'm super excited about it. It's very personal to me and it's a little bit all over the place. I tried to cover like all the bases, so I'm really excited about it. I think I say this every release, but I really think this is my favorite release, but I say that every time. But it really is truly awesome. So without further ado, I thought I would share the actual stencils and then kind of the different things that I've been working on with the actual sets. So if you follow me on Instagram, you may know that I discontinued my houses set. I had a 2 set of houses. So I redid my houses a little bit. This one's a little more summery. It's very similar to one of the other house sets I had, but they're a little bit different. So that way, people aren't duplicating anything. But I don't think I'm going to have the really large stencil that house stencil that came with it. So I thought I would include like a summery one. So maybe, you know, as the seasons go, I can do summery, wintry, that kind of thing. And then I have birds and then kind of ocean. And so the birds can really be anything. There's one that looks like a peacock, and then there's one that looks like a wren. But again, everything can be changed. So it could be a robin, it could be anything. I have a swan shape, and then a crane or heron shape. I'm a bird nerd, so I had to do a collection of just birds. So I wanted to include these in the summary set. Especially because in the summer or where I live, I'm always kind of bird watching and looking for the birds and going to the beach and seeing the birds there. So, and then I have this ocean one. So I have like sea kelp, I have a whale shape, but again, you could probably make that into a fish. I have kind of a sailing boat shape. And then I have this little mermaid half. And the idea with this stencil is that you could have her just in water. So if you have my wave set, you could have her on top of a wave. So she's swimming. So it could just be a girl in the ocean. Or you can take her and then use the bottom of the whale and make a mermaid. So I'll show you how to do that. And I'll probably have a separate video, but it looks really cool and it works great. So that's set number 1. This is called Warm Days. And then the next set I have here is called Portraits. And I really wanted to have more varieties of portraits. Sorry, the window light is like making this weird. Portraits, more faces. I know I have a larger face like this with one of my paper dolls. I think paper doll set number 2, but I wanted one that was just a variety of faces. And I always do one with big hair because I used to have really big hair when I was younger. So it's really important to me to have at least one curly girl. This one is just kind of a cool kind of, you know, Tim Burton-y girl. And then just another one. And I tried to add some extra elements. So, you know, you can do her with the border. You can do this one with the border. But then you can also use them on other stencils too. Like I've been using this as a background for anything. And I can't wait to try this border on other things that I make. So I just wanted to have more possibilities on the actual sets. So this one is portraits. And then last but not least, this is the one that I'm really excited about. I've been dying to do photographic images of people on stencils. And it took us a while to get them, me and my stencil production company. But we finally figured it out. They did a really great job. And because of copyright issues and because people are knocking me off, I just decided to use my family's images because it was just easier than trying to figure out, like, was an image really copyright free? I don't know. Who knows? So I just did family. So we've got this cool kind of punk rock girl. This is my 17-year-old. This is my great aunt, Peggy. I love this one. She was a gorgeous babe. And I just thought this would be so fun, like at the bottom of a journal spread and then with writing. And then I always wanted to have like a queen figure. I love having like crowns on people. So for someone who hates being in front of the camera, I made one with a crown. And if this person looks familiar, that's because it might be me. With my son's dress-up crown on. But it came out really cool, and I think it looks ambiguous enough that you could really kind of make it look very strange and odd. And so these fit great. All of these stencils work great in my Jaya journals, the journal into your art class that I have where you make your own journal. I'm going to show you those samples. Lots of fun possibilities, but I definitely wanted more kind of mixed media themed stencils too, just like I've been dying to have more pattern stencils. So just things to be thinking about going forward when I design them. This is just my journal that has a lot of the newer stuff in it. It has the, the silhouettes from my last launch and the fairy godmother from the fairy tale set. And just mixing and matching. There's my art foamy in there, my stamps. This is an angel, but anyway, just kind of playing. This is the summer set, so it's combining like the houses and the mermaids. I turned the swans into these blue kind of swans with the whale. Just super fun, super summery. I love it so much. And then I have all kinds of little bits and bobs. This is usually where I start when I make a release. So I've got the peacock and some mermaids started. And again, you can see here's the top of the girl. Let me get her here. So here's the top of the girl. And then her tail is, let me just get it going the right way, is the bottom of the whale. Super cool. So I have lots of mermaids. I have these little mystical boats, another peacock. The sea kelp is really fun to play with, especially with watercolors, because you can, if you cut it out, you can put it in front of people or behind them. It's super fun. I love the sea kelp. I just have so many of these things. Another swan, some more whales. Oh my gosh, just so much fun. I love this mermaid. Oh my gosh, I just love her. I'm not a mermaid person at all, but last year someone was like, you should make mermaids. And I was like, oh, I like a challenge. And I loved making the bigger mermaids with my paper doll stencil and my wave stencil, but I wanted a smaller one. So now I have like all these mermaids and I love them so much. They're just so cute. Here's a black swan. Sandhill cranes. I had to, initially when I made this stencil, I was like, I want sandhill cranes because I used to see them on my grandparents' property all the time in Florida. I just love it. So this is the wren stencil, but again, if you change the colors, it looks like a robin. The crane could also be a heron. Here's another whale, another heron. And I just had so much fun with the birds, like just changing the colors around. Here's another boat. Here's like a traditional wren colors. So lots and lots of fun playing with those. Just lots of opportunities. And then, okay, so I'm trying to think if I did the birds in here. Oh yeah, I have one. So I have a bird here, a crane. And then I did the houses. I don't love the colors I chose for this, but whatever. That's in my Jaya journal. And then here is a sample of the Queen stencil, which is super fun, and it fits on here nicely. I have my Aunt Peggy in here ready to go. I haven't even gotten started. I just got these yesterday. So sometimes I get so excited that I don't even do a ton of samples because I just want to put them out in the world. But so they work nicely in the journal. And, you know, I doctor up the face. I don't want it to look like me necessarily. But again, I'm still new at this, and I was like, I don't really trust these sites that say, oh, this is a copyright-free image. And just was like, I'll be the image. And then here is another one of the portraits. Love the portraits. And again, they're just super fun. I wanted to have more variety of faces for people to work with. So that's one. And then I have another one here that I got started. It's a girl with the long hair, and she has the circles around her. But like I said, it's fun. Like I used the circles on this one here. So you really can mix and match. You don't have to use it just in the same set. And you know, I mix and match the colors. And what I did with these for these sets is I stenciled them just in acrylic paint, and then I played with them that way. So later on Instagram, I'll probably show you how you can make a softer version if you want to do it with pencil, and make it less bold. Because I also like to do it that way too. And then I have another one in here with the gold. Here we go. So I did another one with the gold. So I had some gold stencils. These are my first hands, birds and flower stencils. And then I just made a border. And again, I did her in acrylic. I had them make the lines around the faces just a little bit thinner this time. Because, you know, I think it just makes them look a little bit more delicate. So I really like how they turned out. Super, super fun. So that is the portraits. Lots of fun with those. And then again, I haven't really gotten a chance to play with the mixed media stuff as much. So this is my big mixed media journal where I really experiment with sprays and texture and layers and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of stenciling. So in this journal, I'm trying to see where I got. Okay. So this is kind of what I was thinking of when I did the photograph stencils. I wanted a place to play with those and have my own photographic images to work with. And so this one just came out so cool, especially because of the way that she's looking. I feel like words could come out of her mouth, thoughts. I can't wait to play with this stencil. And I love that it's my kid. I just think that's so awesome. And then here, this is a great size too. In this book, it's the Dilutions 9x12, and it's great for the alphabet that I came out last release, so that you can do like a whole phrase. You know, it fits in there nicely. And then here's another layered one that I did with the Queen image. And just playing around, turning her into a much bigger figure with lots of gel papers. And I used more of the Art Foamy stamps that I released earlier this year. So just a lot of fun. And again, I only got this yesterday. So the portraits and the mixed media profile, the generations is what I'm calling the photographic one. This one is called Generations because it's 3 generations. these I just got yesterday in these, so I don't have a ton of samples quite yet, but I'll be doing more of the samples on Instagram over the next few days or weeks, so you can really play with those. But real quick, because I know I'm going to get asked, I wanted to show you about the Mermaid and just show you how easy it is. So you can always do acrylics for everything. It's much easier, but if you know me, you know I like to play with the watercolors. So I already did a watercolor of the girl, and it's probably a good idea to let her dry before you then go and try to add the tail on. Because if you go and do something like this over a wet image, it's just gonna smear the image. So just wait till she's dry, and then you can just kind of line it up. And the cool thing is, because it's a stencil, you can decide if you want her to go a little bit more like this way, or if you want her to go a little more like that way. And you can just get your watercolors going. So I'm just gonna get mine, just making sure you're in the frame. And you're just gonna, again, you can do this with acrylic, you could do it with a pencil. And I'm just kind of looking where her waist ended up and just connecting it that way. And then when I'm done, I lift it up, and that's it. And you know, you can make her curvier if you want. It's just, again, it's just a template, you know. You can give her way more curves, whatever you want. But you've got her fins in there, and it comes out great. It's super easy to do. And I wanted that option. I like the idea of having her play in the waves, which I haven't even gotten to try yet. So I'll probably do a separate video. I'm trying to see if I have any waves in here. I just saw some. Somewhere I saw some. At least I thought I did. Here we go. No, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be like a real wave. So this is what I'm saying. You could put her on top of some waves like that, and that would look cool, like she's in the ocean. So I know I have my waves. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So she could be sitting like on the waves kind of thing. So another fun way to play with this stencil. So if you don't want a mermaid, you could have a girl playing in the ocean. So that is the release. I hope you love it as much as I do. I know I don't share a lot of my mixed media stuff as much, but I'm going to be doing that a lot more often. I really like to kind of cycle around and do different things. So I'm really excited to keep playing with this style of stuff, and work this into my repertoire a little bit more in the next few months. And I do that on purpose so I don't get too bored, or things don't get too stale. So I hope you love the new release. Watch on Instagram. You're going to see lots of samples going on there. And then, you know, I think I might start and do a couple more videos on my YouTube sharing more about how I like to use my stencils, so you can have even more ideas to work with when you get them home in your studio.